Hello. Hang on. There. Hello, welcome to the, what is this? Daily Political Tarot and Astrology. Yes, that's it. That's what we're doing. I'm in a very silly mood. Did Stay Calm on the Stay Calm channel, the relaxation, the empowering, and Alfie really wanted to play. Like, yelling like, I want to play right now. It was very cute, but it's been that kind of morning. But hello. I have questions from you. I'm here literally every single day of the year to take your questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers, which has allowed us to have a fantastic community. So thank you. Yeah, you make this really doable every single day. So, and if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box because all the questions are listed there. I timestamp them as I go so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on like 1.25 speed, whatever works for you. So, hello. This morning, somebody's watching the leaves blowing. Someone is watching the leaves blowing and the hello, boo-boo. Bailey Boo. Hey. Hi. How are you, cuteness? How are you, good boy? You are the precious. You are the precious. All right, anyway. And that's Flora, the plant, of course. All right. So let me grab the cards. I didn't have time to grab a blanket, so I'm doing readings on my sweater. All right. We've got the rack. And we've got some cards. Now, the good news is that apparently the Felon threatened 25% tariffs on every thing that Colombia exports. And that threat included it going to 50% tariffs by the end of the week. That was yesterday. Now, I guess the good news is that's not going to happen. But the bad news is that's because Colombia said, all right, yes. Yay. Anyway. Some Earl Grey. Supreme. Okay. Well, you'd think that would be, okay, that's that. But let me pull up ye old. There were a couple of, I want to make sure I get you the action. You can see it yourself that I'm not making it up at, say, let's just say 3 minutes in, because that's where I started. All right. So all of that happened, and then guess what showed up in social media until it was pulled down a few hours later? Within 20 minutes. It was deleted within 20 minutes. Yes, indeed. That is, if you can't read it, that is a message from Eric Trump, who is not an elected official. We don't need to hear from him. But no, the Felon's son said, any and all who dare to defy the American Golden Age, heed this warning, you will lose. Toe the line, or we will run you down! ! The gloves are off, and we're not playing around this time. For now, it's tariffs, but trust me, we can and we will do, all caps, so much worse. Eric Trump. Eric Trump posted that. Cindy Poole, Eric thinks he's so big and bad. Yeah. Lewis is asking, did someone raise the price of glue? Warrior Witch says the T-Rumps are so overdue for a karmic clapback. Eric. Oh, there's so much. Yeah, Karen. Eric who? Yeah. Yeah, there's not much here. There's not much that's going to happen to him for a while. And yeah, they're just delusion. Remember, I keep telling you about in the movie, if you saw the movie The Labyrinth, the ballroom scene where they're actually in a bubble, beautiful ballroom and the beautiful gowns and all the things, and they're floating, and actually they're floating over just a trash heap. That's this. Only they don't get David Sylvian singing, or David Sylvian, my wishful thinking, David Bowie singing. I love David Sylvian's voice, so bless David Bowie's soul. Yeah, he's in the cults. There was no justice. They have plans. The plans are awful, and I mean awful. It is going to be. There is going to reach a level of burden, but it's not going to be for a while, I'm afraid. Carolyn, thank you so much. It really helps. Thank you. Candy the Brave, I love David Sylvian. Another David Sylvian fan. Oh, Darkest Dreaming. I mean, I love Orpheus. Gorgeous. But there's the vibrato in his voice in Darkest Dreaming. Oh. Anyway, Wave. I mean, there are just so many good ones. Laura, which says, dang, 5 of Swords and 10 of Swans? Yikes. Yeah. But that's unfortunately what they're getting away with right now. I did want to answer, CGM left a comment in the chat, and thank you for that. At 8 minutes, which it's not a reading, but I just wanted to make sure I go over this. 8 minutes, 30 seconds in. CGM says, hi, I need some help. You put up a card and hold it out like I should know what it means. I do not. It has only happened in the last few weeks, but I would appreciate a bit more insight. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry for if I caused any confusion there. We've got a wide range of people who in their understanding of tarot, and I know there are people here who don't read the cards. If I'm holding up the card, and I don't say anything for a moment, it's kind of to let the people who do know tarot to just kind of read it, like pick up what they're picking up, but then I explain the upshot of what I'm picking up from that. Because what the cards mean isn't even necessarily what I'm picking up. So, because there are times you've got to go with your feeling. You've got to go with what it feels like, what you think it means. So, but I do apologize if it's causing confusion, but it really isn't. You're not really missing anything, because I will explain. And if I just show you a bunch of cards and then I just say one thing, sometimes I'm summarizing, because it's maybe not worth going through step by step, if that makes any sense. I would, if part of what I was doing here was teaching, I would go through, card by card. But sometimes it's just, look, this is what I'm getting, and I'll show you the cards. So if you happen to know and you want to see what they are, but otherwise I'll just tell you. Okay. Julie Hoffman says sometimes it's too little and too fast. Okay. All right. Well, I will do what I can. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. All right. So we do we run on Eric? Bleh. So I don't. All right. We don't have anything here okay, so at 11 minutes in, let's have a look at the tariffs. Tariffs going forward. And then I will get to your questions, but then I want to look at workers. Okay. Oh, Grateful Dad, ATX. Thank you. Fairly new here. Want to say I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Makes a big difference. Thank you. All right. Let's look at tariffs going forward, because I'm still not super comfortable. Oh, okay. There you go. All right. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Melissa. Steve Meyer's pointing out all these things happening in Mars retrograde means they'll probably be reversed. Oh, there's definitely well, the other thing about Mars retrograde is they could be reversed, but they might also become more forward when Mars comes out of being in retrograde, because Mars is about taking action. So, so let's have a look at those tariffs going forward. All right. So, is Trump just going to start slapping tariffs on countries, even because they're not doing everything he wants all the time? Amy Jones says, Mercury conjunct Pluto, does that indicate talking garbage? It's very intense speech. I mean, Pluto rules plutonium. Mercury is communication, so it's all about power and... Courtney L, thank you. Coffee break time with Autumn's Gradients. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Yes, Christine, anyone who hurts his fifis. Yes. Tariffs going forward. Can't we all just get along? I mean, really? Can't we all just get along? Unfortunately, this also refers to what I'm reading next, which is about workers in this country. We'll get there. So, King of Cups. It's the way things were done. There was let's not kid ourselves. Biden sent a record-breaking number of illegal migrants out of the country. He did. There was no open border. He sent hundreds of thousands of people out. It's just a flat-out lie that he didn't. Also, I read that for Dumpy and the Felon and his ilk to actually do what they want to do, to send that many people out of the country would cost the U.S. government to do it at least $1 trillion. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna get to Dr. Phil briefly because he's a scumbag. But anyway, tariffs. Knight of Wands. Yeah, these yahoos just zipping in like, we're gonna be big and tough. We're sitting pretty. It does nothing hurts us. We can buy whatever we want. Tower and Victory. Oh yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, this is Trump's new plate. This is his new toy. Yeah, he's just. We're gonna threaten, and then we're gonna trot away all smug. But that could very much hurt Americans. The Pope's saying they're all scumbags. Yep. Oops. Oh, cards flipping around. There we go. So, tariffs affecting us. How are tariffs going to affect us? Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't leave that there. It's okay. Sorry about the noise. It's like we're not even here. And in their thinking, we're not. It's just we're on the defensive because these are their plans. That's MAGA cult. The money courier using money as a weapon. Page of Swords. Trump is a bully, so he loves this. And then they just wait for their ship to come in, or their plane of migrants to go out, or their, unless somebody's feathering their nests. Yeah, this is gonna go on for a while. So let's look at. I've got a. There are various videos that are. Hang on, before I forget, let me make a note there. And all right. I'm trying to think of who have I got handy. I know I've got at least one of these. 1 second, because it started already. We've about. Can I make this bigger? No. We've heard about crops rotting in fields, and that's just starting. So yes, we've heard about crops in the fields. However, there are other things we hadn't really thought about, and there are starting to be videos showing up. For example, this person I won't go into the sound, but this person is, that's their account. I live next door to a 24/7 bakery factory, and the parking lot has been empty for days. No workers, no deliveries, nothing. This is what happens when migrant workers are forced out. It's not just a political headline, it's affecting our food supply and local businesses in real time. So there are various, I've got this muted, but there's another video where she's driving down the road next to this parking lot and showing how there are some other businesses along that street, and the parking lots are pretty empty there too. So it's not just what's in the fields, or I don't know exactly what's going on with meat packing places, but yeah. So now if you want to see that, that's, I do not know how to pronounce that, but you can go there. But there are others too. If you look up, do a search for hashtag migrant workers, potentially food shortages. Yeah. So, oh gosh, I should have double checked. Could you see that? Sorry. Julie Hoffman says there's a bakery just like that in my city. Have you seen fewer cars in the parking lot? Just wondering. So, migrant workers. And then we're going to talk about Chicago today, where, yes, indeed, ISIS descended on various areas in Chicago, of course, Chicago. Yeah. Not in Texas, not in Florida. No. Blue state, Chicago. And Dr. Phil is there recording. He's embedded with the agents. Are there some of the people are going after? Are they violent criminals? Apparently. Why they're not in prison, I don't know. If they're violent criminals. But Grace Cooper says, actually, they are here in Austin, a blue city. Oh, yeah, Austin, of course, of everywhere in Texas. Of course. Austin. So, for now, Julia says, I have some errands later. I will check and see about the bakery. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. The black and orange correspondent, Julie Hoffman. Thank you. Hold on, says Oprah's got to be endlessly embarrassed she introduced him to America. She's not known for being wildly in touch with the common person. And I'm not seeing her flooding the airwaves with, I don't see her really going out of her way to use her platform right now. So, yeah, Dr. Oz as well. Beth A says, yeah. Anyway, but migrant workers. They really are getting off on this. Here's Trump going after the workers. A bunch of bullying and stirring up and sound and fury that does nothing but terrorize a limited number of people. Yes, his dynasty. He will be remembered for this. The thing is that we have some... This King of Cups makes me think that there's there is something. I mean, they are awful, but they can only do so much. There's only so much funding, and there does reach a point where the business people start complaining. Because you don't really see a whole lot of... Anyway, I'll just move on. Okay, 25.50, or probably 26. So, I'm going to specifically talk about Chicago today. Chicago, ICE, and Dr. Phil. And I'm specifically bringing this up today. We're going to focus on Chicago because, yes, not only are there people cracking down, but apparently in Chicago, Dr. Phil is embedded with ICE agents, and he's filming it. And he's already put out some statements about, we're only going after the violent people and the awful people. And it's like, if they're really that violent and awful, why aren't they in prison? And you're doing that a lot, places all over the city. So what is... like, they're all violent criminals? Funny, I don't think so. Raymond Pascal says the backlash is coming in a big way. I hope so. All right. The first part just makes my brain itch. But okay. Card for the reading is there, victory. Trotting along. Using tax-funded resources to really get in people's faces, turn lives upside down, turn families' lives upside down, so that they can I'm just getting prancing. There's a lot of prancing going on. Just so happy with their cruelty and bigotry and racism and misogyny and just prancing. It does end in Chicago sticking up for people. And if they can't, who they can't help them. This is the city and the state, but this is also the communities who are all... apparently there's a whole community where they've been handing out flyers. These are your rights. You do not have to answer your door unless they have a warrant. You do not have to, unless they say they've got a warrant, you do not have to open your door. You do not have to talk to these people. You never have to talk to these people, no matter what they say. If they want to see, you can do this, you can do that. You can't do the other thing. This is what you do. If anybody sees any of these raids going on, call and we get the word out. I guess our country isn't of the sweet land of cruelty of Trump, we say. Yeah, thank you. Juniper's Tarot and Astrology. Thank you. I'm completely aware we have a problem with immigration. I know it's a problem in our country, but I don't believe in Gestapo tactics, targeting children at schools and putting fear into them. Patricia Winch is asking, call who? It's community leaders. Apparently there's I guess people who volunteered, that kind of thing. Rob D says, my neighbors are using the Nextdoor app to track ISIS movements. Ooh. Your mom says, I have a live ice tracking site, but I don't want to share unless approved. From, I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sorry. So, Grace Gilbert is saying that Cruel King Abbott signed an executive order forcing the sheriffs to assist ICE when they refused. Oh, approved by me? Oh, I don't know if, since you're not a moderator, I don't know if you could put in an actual link, but if you could tell us where it is. Yeah, why not? That'd be great. Thank you. Mystic Mary says the problem is not with immigrants, it's with the system. Always has been. It's the cruelty that makes me crazy. Oh yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that yesterday, Sherry, about ICE going after Native Americans and saying we don't recognize your ID, and wow. Yeah. There was something else that you might hear about, and I want to make sure we get to it at 32:20. There is there is something that I personally think has purposefully been misnamed to make it sound like something it's not. So what happened is U.S. Department of State let me see if I can get the original. There we go. There's the original, because I want you to have the best information possible. So let me share. All right. Be aware of this. The United States is rejoining the Geneva Consensus Declaration. The average person is going to look at that and think, oh, like Geneva Conventions. Of course we follow Geneva. Of course we're part of the Geneva Conventions, and you don't mistreat people. What's wrong with that? This is not only is this not the Geneva Convention stuff, this is quite the opposite. And I believe they've focused on, they could have called it anything, but even if wherever they set it up, whatever they did, I would do not let them fool you with this. All right. This consensus declaration is, they're saying, the U.S. Department of State is saying they will rejoin the Geneva Consensus Coalition. In 2020, the Felon was the lead. Made the United States the lead sponsor in the declaration to promote the strengthening and optimal health of women and the family. Investing in women's health and well-being saves lives, allows women and girls more opportunities, protects the family as the fundamental unit of society. Really? Because the other members of this are people like the Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Uganda. It's headquartered in Hungary. Someone here was saying it's an attempt to overshadow and distract us, leaving the World Health Organization. And basically, this is all about Here we go. Protect life at all stages. Declare the sovereign right of every nation to make its own laws protecting life, absent external pressure. They are taking away reproductive rights. Yeah. Anyway, so be aware that if they're talking about the Geneva Consensus Declaration, it's not what you would originally immediately think it is. All right, so be aware, because I'm not hearing anybody really talking about this. So the Geneva Consensus. Please don't swear in the chat. As much as we want to, we can be creative in what we say. It's a daytime show, please. Geneva Consensus. And here's the thing. That, whatever that grossness is, it doesn't mean anything unless Congress passes laws. So oh, thank you, Janet Lee. It's awful. Marianne says save it for petty boots. Understandably, yeah. I was late getting to petty boots last night. I came in late. Sunday nights, I almost always fall asleep right in my chair right after dinner. I'll wake up at about 8 and be like, oh, wait, I wanted to see anyway. But yeah, understandably, the air was blue last night, and I understand why, but whew, good for them. All right, anyway, this is not good. The good news is I don't know how much power this thing has. Thank you, Marianne. Because I've got temperance. Now this is just them looking to get more cruelty, but this is medical care right in the middle. And it does start with a major arcana temperance. Now, 3 of Swords, that hurts. That's bad. And an Ace of Swords. So we know that they're going to try to pass laws taking away women's rights and making it national, because we know this whole thing about states' rights until we can pass something that's national, that's federal. No, they're going to try, but for what it's worth, the major arcana here is temperance, and the card in the center is healthcare and partnership. So it's still there, but yeah, they're going to try to be awful. We know that. I don't know that this Geneva Consensus malarkey is Amy Sanders says the 2-headed snake is fertility, not medical. I understand that there are very specific meanings for specific things in the deck, but there's also what things are generally seen as, and most importantly, what it feels like to you. So, okay. So anyway, no, Lisa, I don't know about the bounty hunters. I'm sure they're out there. I didn't specifically read on Dr. Phil, and you know what? I don't care. Just gross. So anyway, Cosmic Goat Lady had a, as we are, there was someone, there was another thing I heard. A woman was saying she was at the grocery store and it was by the eggs, and there were some women debating, should we buy eggs? Are they're okay, aren't they? I mean, there's avian flu, but my daughter's pregnant and, I don't want her to get sick, and I don't know. Well, I haven't heard anything, so it should be okay. And this woman stopped by and she said, oh, by the way, just so you know, yeah, there's been a complete freeze on communications out of the FDA and all these other parts of the government that protect us. Yeah. So it isn't that there isn't anything bad going on. It's that right now they're not telling us anything. And the woman was like, what? Trump wouldn't do that. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, he has. Well, why would he do that? The woman said, I don't know. And walked away and just left them with truth, and didn't try to convince them, didn't try to change their minds, just inconvenient truth. Walking away. So, along those same lines, Cosmic Goat Lady was saying, will or has Trump destroyed the federal group that monitors the volcanic activities of Mount St. Helens, which is growing again, and Yellowstone, which is more active than normal? Now, I will say, obviously, I am not a volcanologist. However, I will say, for what it is worth, I'm not saying Yellowstone isn't dangerous. We know it is. However, what I do know, what I have heard repeatedly, is that the last time that, I'll just skip a lot of the details. Yellowstone area in long time in the past went boom, right? Not good. And it happens every so often. Okay. So still worried about Yellowstone Park area going boom again, right? We're afraid. However, here's the thing. Yellowstone Park, the giant pit of magma beneath. Well, over the huge amounts of time, the giant pit of magma has actually, the crust and is actually moved, and they're not as well aligned as they were, just so you know. So I'm not saying everything's absolutely hunky-dory, but I'm saying that it's not what it was, is what I've heard over and over. And they've scientists showing the graphics, how the main big scary part is so just be aware. But do we read on the monitors, or do we read on Mount St. Helens and Yellowstone? Brianna says, I would like off of this timeline. Alabama Cajun says, fact check, I agree with this information about Yellowstone. It's what I've seen from trusted sources. Oh, thank you. Let's read on. Yes, Carol. Yes, I knew the Caldera volcano. Yeah, I was just like, we're just going to skip all the details and just. Anyway. Mark says this timeline is a front row ticket. Well, you're not wrong. But it's like Evil Gallagher, front row at Evil Gallagher, where you have to show up with the plastic sheets to try to protect yourself from the fallout. Not literal fallout. We're just talking about. Anyway. Yeah. We're who said, if aliens come and take me, I'll consider it a rescue mission. Yes. I think, unfortunately, we know that for the next at least couple of years, there's only so much we can do. Dave says we have to help each other be safe and informed. Yeah. Yep. And I'm trying. I'm trying to help with at least the informed part and the community part. There's that awful, heinous human being excuse of a human being. There's the government. There is some good, what they call the deep state is actually, it's actually a lot of people who, in order to get a government this size to run, you need a lot of people who are actually really good at things like paperwork and wording and organizing, and then you've got to test the things, and you've got to do and a lot of regulations can take 2+ years to actually go into to be properly in place. So there is a drag right there, which we're glad to see. And part of what's going on right now is also they're just trying to, they're gleefully, it would be like, let's just say that what I would liken it to would be like if it was, say, a Halloween night and there were some young people who just a few people in the town who just decided that they were just going to go on a rampage, just breaking things, terrorizing people, and then occasionally with some that they did there, if they were arrested, they would be charged with arson or attempted arson, just running through the town, just terrorizing people and being as awful as they can be. That's what they're doing in the government. But yeah, hemming people in, hemming groups and yeah, all of that. Just if they're not towing the party line, as Eric informed us we have to do, then yeah. Yeah, we're just going to have to help each other. Okay. Anyway, what was the other? Was there something else? I thought there was something else in the news. Well, it's okay. 40 minutes. I better get to some of these other questions. All right. I am going to. I want to. This is an update. This is a black and orange news update. Heather is saying that Swedish authorities have seized a ship suspected of sabotaging an undersea cable in the Baltic Sea. Go Swedish authorities. Shortly after NATO beefed up its presence in the area to shield its underwater infrastructure. If asked or required, would the Felon honor our alliances and defend other NATO countries against Russia or their allies? Trump talks a big game against Putin with Musk money in his pockets now, but will he stand and deliver? Okay, so these are kind of two different questions. So the first one is about protecting NATO. It's about, will NATO countries be able to protect themselves and their infrastructure? So, be able to protect themselves. And protect their infrastructure. Your mom says, I thought Putin and Musk shared joint custody of the man baby. I like that. That was good. All right. NATO, you'll be able to protect your infrastructure. Because Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto plows up things that don't have deep roots, things that are weak, get knocked over, at least until they can be made stronger. And Aquarius rules technology, the internet. All right, we've got justice here. That feels like very, old-fashioned, straightforward. You mess with our stuff, and we'll do something about it, like they're supposed to. Like, that's, you don't just have somebody burst in your house and you be like, burst in your house and breaks things and be like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to cause problems. No. You're breaking our internet cables. We're going to do something about it. Yeah. They know they can't rely on us, and yeah, that's just sad. But decisions going forward, being very straightforward. Yeah, we know who these jerks are. But yeah, they're going to hold their own. Good. So the following question would be at 52 minutes in, would be, oh boy. Will the felon support Putin in anything he does? Is really what this is about. Yeah, you want to invade over here? You want to go... Gently says, they're solid. Good. That's what I was picking up. I don't know, Rose Blue. Would have to... Maybe we can talk about that tomorrow. Please. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, Felon. Yeah, it does feel like Musk's money has emboldened the Felon. Only if it aligns with him. See, ever since now that the Felon is hanging around with Muskie, he's getting bigger ideas than just a tower, a Trump Tower, Moscow, whatever. He's thinking bigger. So because of that, I mean, if their cruelty aligns, see, Trump's in with the super billionaires now, and if what Putin's doing aligns and is going to personally help Trump, yeah, but otherwise, it feels like just bigger plans. So, okay. I'm just having a quick look at all of these. All right. Julie Hoffman, I'm gonna, okay, anything I don't cover today, I'm rolling over to tomorrow. Okay. But I absolutely want to make certain I get to Julie Hoffman's question because I laughed out loud. And I want you to have this in your arsenal of insults as well. Apparently, Elonia Muskie is all upset. He's so mad. People are calling his cars Swasticars and canceling orders. Swasticars. Whoever came up with that, bless you. Swasticars. Okay, anyway, poor baby. Will he retire? Okay, basically, let's just read on Muskie. He's also been, Rosebus says Germany banned him and is dumping Teslas. Really? I thought the AFD had a little bit of power, but I guess maybe they don't have enough. Anyway, Brandon says, whoever came up with that, I need to give them a high five. Yeah. So, yeah, and Muskie has been, there was talk that he would get an office in the White House, but now he's been relegated to the nearby office building. And if his office isn't there, then he might not have the same kind of access. Rosebus says it's a 3-year jail sentence in Germany if you do that. Salute. Good. Okay, I lost a card. Card down. Card down. Hold, please. Oh, look at that. Okay. Lisa Fortifor says, I asked my husband's cardiologist if he happened to see the ugly Tesla in the parking lot. It happened to be his. Okay, well, here's the country decency, women not being treated like objects, there's that, but other than that, these cards are weak for Muskie. Page of Cups. He has plans. He's feeling unappreciated. There's work there, but then it's crickets. Daw. Is Daddy Donnie not giving you attention anymore? Are you, the narcissist, not getting the narcissistic attention you need from a fellow narcissist? Yeah, but I do want to ask: is the Swasticars, is that going to catch on? I love that. Although I have to be careful where I say it, because there is a member of my extended family who owns one. Well, he did this to himself. Financially not great. Aren't there some lawsuits in Europe and whatnot that are against? Okay, but I'm asking, will this catch on? Not necessarily. I mean, because there's other stuff going on. So this isn't going to turn the tide, because some insults, they really hit a nerve. So this might take a while. Sherry says Susie Wiles did throw Elonia out of the White House into an unused storage building down the street. Dolores Umbridge. She has her moments. All right, anyway. Mark says he's making swastophones now. Oh, this is so good. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me for today. But I will be back tomorrow. I'm literally here every weekday, every weekend, every holiday. Your birthday, my birthday. I'm here. And so we're a community here. And we'll get together tomorrow. Half an hour before this starts, I'm over on the Stay Calm channel. All the links are in the description box, where we can just calm our nervous systems. And so that's Stay Calm. Half an hour before this starts, we go through the news with friends here. And then from 3 to 6 p.m. Chicago time, we get together on the Creative Sprints channel. So you're always welcome there. And we just try to be as productive as we can. So thank you. Please remember, you're not alone. We're in this together. And it seems like there aren't any good days ahead, but there are. So hang in there. All right. And I'll see you later. All right. Take care.